Hello guys, welcome back on your channel Vedant Education. Today we are going to start lesson 2. In lesson first, you have learned about the charge, process of charging, electric field intensity, electrostatic force. Lesson second is the Gauss's law and its application. In lesson second, we will also determine electric field intensity by using the Gauss's theorem. Gauss was a scientist which provided us a simplest way to find the electric field intensity from the continuous charge distribution and as well as the discrete charge distribution. So let's start the lesson 2. The first topic in lesson 2 is the electric flux. Electric flux. It is denoted by phi E. Electric flux. Electric flux is the total number of electric field lines passed through a surface placed in electric field. Electric flux is the total number of electric field lines which passes through a surface normally or perpendicularly which placed in the electric field. What is electric flux? Electric flux is the total number of electric field lines which passes normally through the surface placed in an electric field. So what is the electric flux? Electric flux is the total number of electric field lines which passes normally through the surface which placed in the electric field. So if any surface is placed in the electric field, then the total number of electric field lines which passes perpendicular in normal to the surface are known as the electric flux. What is electric flux? Total number of electric field lines which passes normally through the surface placed in the electric field is known as the electric flux. It is denoted by phi E. Mathematically, another definition, mathematically how we calculate the numerical value. So mathematically electric flux phi E is defined as the scalar product of electric field vector. If it is represented by for small surface area, then d phi E electric flux is defined as the scalar product of electric field vector and area vector E dot ds. You know here dot representing the scalar product. If we eliminate this dot sign, then d phi E will be E ds cos of theta. What is the theta? Theta is the angle between electric field vector and area vector. Electric field vector E and area vector E of ds s. This is the electric flux which is linked to a small surface area. Here the term d phi E represents the small electric flux, right? If we want to calculate net electric flux, then on integrating this term, you will got phi E equal to E dot S. Because we are integrating with respect to surface area. It is the surface integral, right? So directly you can write, or otherwise you can write in this format. Integration d phi e equal to integration e dot ds, right? It will become outside, so phi e becomes e into s cos of theta. Unit, what is the unit of flux? One unit is SI unit of flux is Weber. What is the unit of flux? Weber. Next, MKS units, you can also take the MKS unit. What is the unit of electric field? Newton per Coulomb. What is the unit of area? S is the area, meter square. So MKS unit of electric flux is Newton meter square per Coulomb, right? How the angle is come here? Suppose this is the uniform electric field, right? Any sheet like this one, whose surface area S, surface area of this sheet is S. It is the area vector. What is this? This is the area vector, right? And it is E. Area vector making an angle theta with the electric field vector. Simply see here. This is a sheet of surface area S. Surface area like this one. This is a sheet. Let's see. Suppose this one is a surface which placed in an electric field. ये sheet किसी एक इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड में प्लेस है, तो ये sheet का surface area vector क्या है? This one always perpendicular to the area. This represent the area vector. Always you will plot the area vector perpendicularly outside from the surface. So this is this normal which plotted on the surface area represent the area vector. The direction of the area vector is this. So here this is a sheet like this one, and this is a normal which represent the area vector. Now it is tilted by some angle. So this area vector makes an angle theta with the electric field. Area vector S making an angle theta with the area vector, right? If you have given this angle theta, angle between the surface area vector, right, and electric field vector, then normally we will use this formula to find out or to calculate the electric flux. If you have not given the angle theta directly, question says to you, the surface area, listen carefully, surface area makes an angle theta with the electric field vector. Here what question says? Surface area makes an angle. In this question, surface area vector makes an angle, right? So we take always the angle which makes area vector with the electric field. If surface area makes angle, then the angle in that case, if surface area makes angle, then in that case your theta will be 90 minus theta dash, right? In that case you will take here theta as 90 minus theta dash. Okay, what is the theta dash? The surface area which makes with the electric field vector. Okay, got it? So simply guys, I have explained the electric flux phi E. What is the electric flux? Electric flux simply is the total number of electric field lines which passes through the surface normally which placed in an electric field. Mathematically it is defined as the scalar product of the electric field vector and area vector by eliminating dot sign. You know EDS cos of theta, where theta is the angle between the electric field vector and area vector. What is the area vector? The normal plotted to the surface area is known as the area vector. So, in the case, if this theta is not given directly, area vector is not making, surface area making, in that case, you will consider theta as 90 minus theta dash. Okay? Let's see the numerical problem. If electric field vector is given like 2i cap plus j cap plus k cap, and area vector S is given in form of like I cap minus 2j cap plus k cap. Question says to you, find out electric flux linked with this surface area. Right? Question says to you, this is the electric field vector and this is the surface area vector. Find out the value of the electric flux which linked to the surface area S. You have the formula phi E equal to E dot S. Put the values. What is the value of E? This one, 2i cap plus j cap plus k cap dot. It is a dot product. I cap minus 2j cap plus k cap. In class 11th, you know how we calculate the dot product. Simply, if you don't remember, multiply coefficient of I with respect to coefficient of this I, right? So here 2 multiply by 1, right? Then go to the next term. What is the coefficient of j cap? 1. Here coefficient of j cap minus 2 plus coefficient of I k cap 1. Coefficient of here k cap is also 1. 2 what? Minus 2 1 multiplied by minus 2 plus 1. What is the value of electric flux linked to the surface? 1 Weber. Right? This is the simple general question. If the question provides you both of the vector, then you will calculate easily flux linked with the surface area. Let's see next question. Next problem. If magnitude of E electric field is given to you like 100 Newton per Coulomb and a sheet of surface area 100 meter square is placed in an electric field, and this surface area vector makes an angle theta equal to 60 degree with electric field vector. Then calculate the value of electric flux which linked with the surface area. This one, surface area. Here you have the solution formula phi E equal to E dot S, and it comes E as cos of theta. Here the angle is directly given, which makes area vector. In this case, area vector, this formula will be used. So what is the value of E? 100. What is the value of S? Also 100. Cos 60. You know value of cos 60? 1 by 2. 50. So flux linked with the surface area is 100 into 50. That is 5000 Weber. Clear? In the same question, if it is not given, like question says to you, only surface makes an angle theta equal to 30 degree with electric field or 60 degree with electric field vector. Now answer will be changed. Why? In this case, surface area makes angle in this case you will take the value of theta as 90 minus theta dash. So here theta will be 90 minus 60, that is 30 degree. So cos 30 will be root 3 by 2. Root 3 by 2, so answer will change by e. Root 3 by 2, 1 by 2 same, multiply by root 3. So answer will be 5000. I am written directly 5000 root 3 Weber. Got it? So this is the basically introduction about the electric flux. I have defined electric flux. What is the electric flux? Electric flux is the total number of electric field lines which pass normally through the surface area which placed in an electric field. Mathematically, it is defined as the scalar product of electric field vector and area vector. How we calculate the numerical problems? There are three types of numerical problems. If both are given in the vector form, then simply you will multiply dot product. You will calculate the value of electric flux. In the second question, area vector, angle given, E is given, S also given. By using this formula phi equal to E dot S, S cos of theta, you calculate the value of electric flux. If area vector is not given, question says to you surface area or the sheet is placed in the electric field makes an angle theta, something like 60 degree, 30 degree, what he says, then you will calculate the electric flux by following this process. Okay. Now we move on the next topic, and our next topic is the Gauss's law. This one, Gauss's law. So let's see the next topic. So the next topic is Gauss's law or Gauss's theorem. Gauss's law basically provides the information about the electric flux. Electric flux. What says the Gauss's law? Gauss's law states that net electric flux or total electric flux linked with a closed surface. Net electric flux or total electric flux linked with a closed surface is always equal to the 1 over epsilon times 1 over epsilon naught times to the total charge enclosed by the surface. What it states? It states that the total electric flux phi E linked to a closed surface is always 1 over epsilon times to the total charge enclosed by it. It states simply that net electric flux linked to a closed surface, is always 1 over epsilon times to the total charge. Total charge, that is summation q. So phi equal to summation q over epsilon q. This is the simply Gauss's theorem. It states about the electric flux which linked with a closed surface. That is the necessary condition. When you will apply the Gauss's theorem, the surface must be closed. Surface close होना चाहिए. Like this one. This is a closed surface. If we want to calculate the value of electric flux, then according to the Gauss's theorem, phi E will be summation q by epsilon z. Right? Some important points should be remembered related to the Gauss's law are as closed surface or Gaussian surface. This surface is known as the Gaussian surface or closed arbitrary surface. Gaussian surface or arbitrary surface. Shape of Gaussian surface is arbitrary. It could be of any shape, like cylindrical, spherical, cone, cube, rectangle. It could be of any shape, right? Gaussian surface could be of any shape. ये किसी भी शेप का हो सकता है, right? Second thing, flux linked with the Gaussian surface is only depends flux linked with Gaussian surface is only depends on the value of charge enclosed by it. Flux linked with the Gaussian surface is only depends on the value of charge enclosed by it. What is the value of the charge outside the surface? Not depends. What is the value of charge inside the surface? Like here, let's see an example. This is the Gaussian surface of spherical shape. 10 coulomb charge is placed inside and minus 2 coulomb charge placed is outside the surface. If you wish to find out the flux linked with this surface, then the flux is independent from the charge which placed outside the surface. It always depends the value of charge which placed inside the Gaussian surface, not depends on the charge which placed outside the surface. Remember this point, it is very important. In the previous year exams, one question is asked, I will discuss with you. So the value of flux here, 10 divided by epsilon 0. By putting the value of epsilon 0 how much? 8.85 10 power minus 12. You will calculate the value of flux linked with the surface. In previous year question paper board exams, there is a question like this. Let's see, here 10 coulomb, here 20 coulomb, here 50 coulomb charge. Question says, in this question, find out the value of electric flux, find out the value of linked with the shaded portion. Linked with the shaded portion only. You see here, you can see here, shaded portion is a closed, right? Closed. So you can apply the Gauss's theorem. So what is the value of electric flux? Pi E equal to summation Q by epsilon 0. Value of electric flux inside the surface only, inside the surface, that is the shaded portion only, because he is asking from us that find out the value of flux which linked with the shaded portion. So 20 divided by 8.85 10 to the power minus 12. By calculating this, you will got the answer, value of the electric flux linked with the shaded portion, right? Some students write the answer of this question in this manner: summation Q 10 plus 20 plus 50 divided by epsilon 0. This is wrong, because he is asking only the flux which linked with the shaded portion, right? So I have told you 2 points. Shape of the Gaussian surface is arbitrary. Flux linked with the closed Gaussian surface is only depends on the total charge which placed inside the Gaussian surface, right? Third point, Coulomb's law. There are the 2 boundaries of Coulomb's law. Charges should be point shape and charges must be stationary. टू पॉइंट स्टेशनरी चार्जेस के बीच में फोर्स को डिफाइन करता है कूलम्ब्स लॉ. बट Gauss's theorem is applicable on both the charges, stationary as well as moving charges, right? Gauss's theorem or Gauss's law is applicable on both of the states of the charges, rest and motion. Gauss theorem, next point. Gauss theorem is applicable on those electric field vector. Gauss theorem or Gauss's law is applicable only on. Gauss's law is applicable only on those field vectors which follows inverse square law, which follows or obeys inverse square law. What is the inverse square law? Those, right? You know, F equal to K, Q1, Q2 over R square. If the in denominator the term is R square, then it obeys the inverse square law. So Gauss theorem is applicable on those field vector which obeys inverse square law, right guys? So these are the points you must remember when you apply the Gauss's law. So what is the Gauss's law? Gauss's law simply states about the electric flux which linked with the closed Gaussian surface, right? It states that the flux linked with the Gaussian surface is 1 over epsilon times the total charge enclosed by the closed Gaussian surface. Let's see the proof of Gauss's theorem. Proof. Proof of Gauss's theorem. Important topic for board exam. Let it is a point charge Q which placed at point O. Which placed at point O in vacuum. A charge Q is placed in vacuum at point O as shown in figure. To prove Gauss's theorem, we consider a spherical Gaussian surface of radius r, like this charge Q. To prove the Gauss's theorem, we consider a spherical Gaussian surface of radius r. This is charge and like this is the radius r. As you know, all the points on the surface of the spherical Gaussian surface are at the equidistance from the point charge Q. So the value of electric field at the surface or at every point on the surface of the spherical Gaussian surface will be same, because the distance is same and the value of the charge is also same. Electric field, value of electric field at every point on Gaussian surface by using a formula of electrical intensity to a point charge is given by the equal to kq by r square, equal to kq over r square. And the value of electric field at every point on the surface of the sphere or Gaussian surface, it is arbitrary Gaussian surface. This is the value of electric field vector, right? Let's we consider a small elemental area on the spherical surface, ds. Now the electric field will be, it is a positive charge, so direction of electric field vector will be radial, outside from the surface. Radial means perpendicular to the surface, right? Always remember. And the direction of this surface area will also be in the same direction. So here theta will be 0 degree. What is the theta? Theta is the angle between area vector and electric field vector, right? Let us consider a small elemental area ds of Gaussian surface as shown in figure. Flux linked to this small elemental area ds, let d phi e. What we consider? We consider small elemental area ds. This one, the value of this small elemental area is ds, and the flux linked with this is d phi e, right? From the definition of electric flux, d phi e equal to E dot ds, and d phi e, by limiting the dot sign, it is equal to E ds cos theta. Here the value of theta is 0 degree. So d phi e equal to E ds cos 0, and d phi e equal to E ds, value of cos 0 is 1. So d phi e equal to E ds. This is the flux which linked with the small elemental area ds, right? Net flux linked with the Gaussian surface, that is phi e. On integrating the above equation, phi e equal to integration E ds. E will be constant at every point. This one kq by r square, it remains inside. That is, it is the surface integral. Surface area of the sphere is 4 pi r square. So it is total flux phi e equal to E into 4 pi r square. At the equation 3rd. From equation 1st, on placing the value of E, value of E is kq by r square, and for the vacuum k 1 over 4 pi epsilon 0. So phi E is k 1 over 4 pi epsilon 0 q by r square 4 pi r square. R square cancelled out. 4 pi, sorry, this one epsilon 4 pi cancelled out. What remains? Pi equal to q over epsilon 0. Phi equal to Q over epsilon 0, and Q is the net charge enclosed in the Gaussian surface. So phi equal to summation Q by epsilon 0. This is basically the proof of Gaussian theorem. What we have done, a point charge is placed at point O. We wish to prove the Gaussian theorem. So to prove the Gaussian theorem, we should enclose the charge by arbitrary Gaussian surface. So for the arbitrary Gaussian surface, we consider a spherical arbitrary Gaussian surface of radius r. And electric field at every point on the Gaussian surface will be given by this formula, equal to kq by r square. It is the value of electric field at every point on the surface of the sphere or Gaussian surface. Here we consider a small elemental area of this sphere at ds, and the flux linked with this surface area is d phi e. So from the definition of electric flux, d phi e will be equal to E dot ds. It is from the previous article. I have defined electric flux. Electric flux mathematically defined as the scalar product of the electric field vector and area vector. So d phi e equal to E dot ds. Here theta is 0 degree because the direction of electric field vector and area vector is same. So theta is 0 degree. So d phi e equal to this one, E ds. Second equation. This is the flux d phi e which linked with the small elemental area. We wish to calculate the net electric flux with the complete Gaussian surface. So net electric flux is this one. Here the term E. We have already determined the value of E in the equation first. By substituting the value of electric field E, here we got the result phi E equal to summation Q by epsilon 0. Guys, so this is the proof of Gauss's theorem. Let's see the application. Second part of this lesson, application of the Gauss's law. First application is find out the value of electric field intensity or the expression of electric field intensity by the infinite line charge. It is an infinite line charge on which the charge is uniformly distributed. We wish to find out the value of electric field intensity at perpendicular distance r at point P. To apply the Gauss's law, the charge must be enclosed. So to enclose the position of the charge, we consider here a cylindrical Gaussian surface. Cylindrical Gaussian surface of radius r. And length L. Right? We are going to derive the expression of electric field intensity. Electric field intensity with the help of Gauss's theorem by infinite line charge. So to apply the Gauss's theorem, charge must be enclosed. So to enclose the charge or the position of the charge, we consider a cylindrical Gaussian surface of radius r and length L. To derive the expression of electric field intensity at perpendicular distance r at point P by Gauss's law, we enclose or we consider a cylindrical Gaussian surface of radius r and length L, right? If linear charge density is lambda, right? By using the Gauss theorem, net electric flux linked with Gaussian surface phi equal to summation q by epsilon 0, right? Now, value of the charge which is enclosed by the cylindrical Gaussian surface we will determine with the help of linear charge density. What is the value of linear charge density? Lambda is given by the total charge per unit length, where L is the length of this Gaussian surface. So the charge is Q equal to lambda into L. So this equation becomes pi equal to lambda L over epsilon 0. This is the first equation. Now, from the definition of electric flux, phi E, flux linked with the Gaussian surface, is given by integration E dot ds, right? This is the surface integral, closed surface integral E dot ds. It can be, surface area can be split up into three parts. One, this one 2, and this one 3. Direction of electric field will be along this, because it is a positive charge. So the direction of electric field lines is always away from the positive charge. And the direction of area vector S cap will be this. So theta here, because it is 1, so theta 1 will be 90 degree. Now, second surface area is this one. This is the like first, this one second, and this one third. So area vector will be this, and the direction of electric field lines is always outward from the charge. So direction of both is same. So here, direction of electric field lines or electric field and area vector is same. So here theta 2 equal to 0 degree. This is the second portion of the surface area. Third, here direction of electric field is this, same direction of electric field की area vector इस direction में होगा यहाँ. So angle theta 3 will be 90 degree. So this equation can be written as S1 E dot ds plus integration E dot ds S2 plus integration E dot ds S3. By emitting dot sign, E ds cos theta 1 plus E ds cos theta 2 plus integration E ds cos theta 3. The value of theta 1 90 degree, theta 2 0 degree, theta 3 90 degree. Substitute the values of theta 1, theta 2 and theta 3. So phi E integration E ds cos 90 plus E ds cos 0 degree plus E ds cos 90. You know the value of cos 90 is 0. Cos 90 is 0. 0 multiplied something always 0. So both of the terms will be becomes 0. Phi equal to 0 plus integration E ds plus 0. So flux phi E equal to integration EDS. It is the surface integral. So E will be come outside. So phi E equal to E and ds. Ds is this is the surface area. It is 2 pi RL. E into 2 pi RL. So this is the second equation of electric flux. This is the second equation and this is the first equation. You can see left side of both of the equations is same. Left side of both of the equations is same. So from the equation first and second, from equation first and second, here E into 2 pi RL equal to lambda L over epsilon 0, right? L cancelled out, E equal to 1 over 2 pi epsilon 0 lambda by R. By multiplying 2 in numerator and denominator, E 2 over, it will be 4 pi epsilon 0 lambda by R. So 1 over 4 pi epsilon 0, you know, K. So E can be written as 2K lambda by R. It is the value or the expression of electric field intensity to the infinite line charge at the perpendicular distance R at point P. Now you see here, the value of electric field is depends on the 3 things. K related with the medium में डिपेंडेंट है ये. लैम्डा चार्ज डेंसिटी पर डिपेंडेंट है. R परपेंडिकुलर डिस्टेंस पर डिपेंडेंट है. If you plot the graph between electric field and R, see here graph, it is the E and in this direction this is the distance R. So it is inversely proportional. As the R increase, the electric field will be decreases. So graph will be this one. But if you plot the graph, see here. But if you plot the graph between electric field and linear charge density, E and lambda, then you can see E is directly proportional to the lambda. E is directly proportional to the lambda. So as the lambda increases, the electric field intensity will also increase. So the graph will be this. Guys, clear? Got it? Let's see once again. It is a infinite line charge. We consider a small portion of this charge. To apply the Gauss's theorem, we must enclose the position of charge. So to enclose the position of charge, we consider a cylindrical Gaussian surface of radius r and length L. According to Gauss's theorem, net flux linked with this surface can be given by phi equal to summation q by epsilon 0. How we determine the value of summation q? With the help of linear charge density lambda. You know lambda equal to q by L. So q equal to lambda L. By placing this value q, phi E equal to lambda L by epsilon 0. This is the equation first. Remember, we always, in all the applications, we always apply only two conditions. One this one and second this one. By using this, there will be the two equations. By equating both of the equations, we will got the answer. We will got the result. So this is the flux according to the Gauss's theorem, right? And this value of the flux from the definition of electric flux. दोनों ही क्या बताते हैं? Electric flux को define electric flux करता है. And also Gauss theorem is also define the flux which link with the which link with the Gaussian surface or closed surface, right? So this is according to the from the definition of electric flux. This is the second equation. By equating, because left side of both of the equations is same. So by equating both of the equations, we have got the result or expression of electric field intensity equal to 2k lambda by r. You can see here E depends only on three things. K, which depends on the medium. For the vacuum, you can use 9 into 10 power 9. If there is any medium, then there will be a specification, then you can determine the value of K. On the lambda and also on R, so there are the graphs of electric field intensity of line charge distribution. Got it? So students, let's see the question. In the question, electric field E is directly proportional to the x, and it is a vector sign I cap which represents the direction of electric field. By this, what you can guess, the direction of electric field vector is along the positive x-axis. Okay, I cap, positive I cap represents the direction along the positive x-axis. If there is negative I cap, then along the negative x-axis, and J cap represent the y-axis, K cap represent the z-axis. Okay. Question says to you, find out the value of electric flux phi E linked with the Q as shown in the figure. With the help of this representation, we can guess the length of the one side of the cube is A. Length of the side of the cube is A. So, if we go through from the definition of electric flux, phi E equal to integration E dot ds, right? If we eliminate, this is a closed integral because cube is closed. On integrating this, eliminating dot sign, E ds cos of theta. Let's understand the problem first. This room is in the form of cube. There are 6 faces of the room. This one and this one. These are the 2 faces. This one, these are also 2 faces. So there are 4 faces, and one is the ground and another one is the top. So there are 6 faces of the cube. Faces of the cube are of same area because length of the cube is same all sides. Here, direction of the electric field lines is along this one, right? This one. So flux, if we write the flux linked with the all surfaces, so this integration can be written as EDS, let this one right and this one left, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. L cos theta 1 plus right EDS cos theta 2 left right plus top and bottom EDS cos theta 3 top plus EDS cos theta 4 for bottom or ground. Now there are 2 faces are remains. This one board face and front face. Okay, back and front. Back EDS cos theta 4 plus EDS cos theta, this one 5 and this one 6. Clear? Let's understand. Direction of electric field is along this one, right? Plus I cap hai, that is along the positive x-axis. Area vector is always plotted perpendicular to the surface area. Perpendicular surface area. So let's see. For the right hand side face, electric field vector, direction of electric field vector is this, and the direction of direction of area vector is also this. For the right hand side, theta, for right, this one, theta 2 is 0 degree. Okay. And for this one left hand side, direction of area vector will be this one, and direction of electric field lines will along this one. So the angle between electric field vector and area vector is 180 degree. 180 degree. This is left. So theta 1 is 180 degree. Now see top, bottom and back front. Top, this one is the top. Direction of electric field is this one. And the direction of this area vector, right? Direction of this area vector will be along this one. So what indicates this? Direction of electric field along this one, and direction of the area vector is this one. So the angle is 90 degree. Here theta 90 degree for the top, and also for the bottom. Bottom के लिए क्या होगी डायरेक्शन ऑफ एरिया वेक्टर? Perpendicular drawn on the surface area. This one. So direction of area vector is this one. So the angle is also 90 degree here. Theta 4 is also 90 degree. Let's see these faces. If we plot the area vector of this face, this is the area vector, and direction of the electric field lines is this one. So angle between both of these is also 90 degree. So this one is theta 5 is 90 degree. For this one, electric field is along this one, and area vector will be this one. So both are at the 90 degree. Theta 6 is 90 degree. You know, dear students, cos 90 0. This term will be 0. This term will also be 0. This will also be 0. It means flux will link only on the two faces, left and right. There will be no flux which link with remaining four faces. So we can write this result as phi E equal to, by putting cos 180 minus 1 minus integration E ds 1, right, plus E ds, because cos 0 1. Now this is the left face and this is the right face, and this is the value of electric field at left hand side and electric field at right hand side. Okay, now calculate the value of EL, and you know E is proportional to xi cap equal to C xi cap for EL, left hand side. See here, this is the left face. So value of x is at the left face is, value of left face of x is 0. So value of electric field at left face x equal to 0 I cap, that is EL, that is the electric field which linked with the left face of the cube is 0. EL is 0. Now value of electric field which linked to the right face, value of x is A. So ER equal to AI cap, right? By substituting the values of electric field, we can determine the value of flux. This term will be 0 because EL is 0, minus integrating 0 ds plus A I cap dot ds, right? Dot eliminate करेंगे, I cap introduce होगा, so it will be I cap cancelled out, 1 हो जाएगा. So I cap cancelled out हो गया, यहाँ से eliminate हो गया by with the help of dot product. So phi E is A integration ds. This integration ds is the surface area of this face. It is a square sheet of length A. So area of the square is A square. Side square. So phi E equal to A into A square. What becomes? A raised to power 3 Weber. So net flux is A raised to power 3 Weber. What is, students? How we determine the value of electric flux? We will determine the value of electric flux with the help of this concept from the definition of electric flux. First, I have introduced how can we determine the value of electric flux. Net electric flux will link with the all faces. So we go through the concept. here we are seeing that the few of the faces area vector makes an angle 90 degree with the electric field vector, so the electric flux linked with these faces will be 0. There are only two faces which makes angle 0 degree and 180 degree, so flux will be linked only with these faces. But by the problem, left hand side value of electric field is 0 because E directly proportional to xi cap. Here the value of x is 0. Because of this, value of electric field which linked with the left face becomes 0, and the value of electric field which linked with this right face is ai cap, that is along the positive x direction. By calculating this thing, we got the answer flux phi E equal to h⁻3 over 4. This is the one problem. Let's see the next another problem. There is a cube. This is the cube. A charge cube is placed. First question says at center. Second question says at one face. Third statement is the first. Second, third one. Question says at one side of cube. And fourth, at any vertex of the cube. When charge cube placed inside or at the center of the cube, by using of Gauss's theorem, there we should plot a Gaussian surface like a ball, sphere. So sphere will come inside the cube, right? And it means जो हमने Gaussian surface plot किया वो completely cube के अंदर आ जाएगा. So with the help of Gauss's theorem, for first phi equal to summation q by epsilon 0. So this is the net flux for the first case. Now come at the second case. When the charge is placed at the one face, like this one, charge is placed here. We want to determine the value of electric flux which is linked with the cube. So we should here also plot the Gaussian surface of any shape. You may consider spherical, you may consider cylindrical, any type of shape. Let's see if we plot the spherical shape. Then you can see clearly the half portion of this sphere is outside from the cube. Half portion of the Gaussian surface is outside from the cube and half portion is inside the cube. Gauss theorem says to you, net flux linked with the Gaussian surface. ठीक है? Net flux linked with the Gaussian surface phi equal to summation q by epsilon 0. But net flux है ये किससे? Gaussian surface से. नेट फ्लक्स किससे चाहिए हमको? क्यूब से. और क्यूब के अंदर कितना पोर्शन इसका? हाफ पोर्शन. So flux link with cube will be phi e dash equal to 1 by 2 summation q by epsilon 0. Clear? Now see next third point. When charge is placed at one side, this one, like this one, this is the edge or one edge side. When charge is placed here, then when we plot the Gaussian surface, then only 1 by 4 part of the Gaussian surface come in the cube. 1 by 4 portion of the Gaussian surface will come inside the cube. So the value of the electric flux in that case 1 by 4. So flux will be 1 by 4 of summation q by epsilon 0. Right? How we are getting these answers? On the basis of the Gaussian surface. What portion of the Gaussian surface is inside? Right? Let's come on the last point. At any vertex, if any vertex here charge is placed, if we plot the Gaussian surface, then this will be the Gaussian surface. This is the center, and this area will be the 1/8 of this whole surface area. So flux linked with the Q will be 1/8 times of the total flux of the Gaussian surface. So answer will be, in this case, phi equal to 1/8 summation Q by epsilon 0. Got it, students? So in today's lecture, we have learned about the electric flux, Gauss's theorem, proof of Gauss's theorem, and one application of Gauss's theorem. So I have completed these topics and some of the basic problems which related to the electric flux and based on the Gauss's application. So go through this lecture to understand the application, Gauss's law, and phenomena of electric flux. All the best. Thank you.